Have you ever made seitan or wheat meat? It's meat from a ball of dough. Now you can make seitan from scratch just using all-purpose flour, making a regular ball of dough, and then a whole process to turn it into seitan. And it's really good that way. Or you could do it the super easy way and just buy a bag of gluten flour. Now there is some benefits to doing it the long way, but for this particular test, we're gonna test out the short way. Now we recently made a video about the benefits of nutritional yeast. I love this stuff, but I just spilled it all over my counter. One of the things that was mentioned in the video is that it has been discovered that it relaxes dough. Now, nutritional yeast is a common ingredient in seitan because of its flavor. It contains glutamate, meaning that it's not gluten, but it's savory. But if it relaxes the dough, does it change the texture of seitan? So let's find out. I'm gonna make 4 balls of seitan dough and make 4 sets of quick and easy seitan nuggets. Really easy seitan nuggets, just little bites. And I'm gonna test each bowl of dough using different amounts of nutritional yeast to see if it makes a difference for the texture. So let's get going.
Now for this first one, we're gonna use no nutritional yeast, 0% nutritional yeast, basic gluten dough balls. So we're gonna use a half a cup of gluten flour along with a half a cup of water. Just mix that up and knead it. Everything should get picked up from this. This is gonna be a pretty wet, spongy dough ball. You'll see that it's kind of stretchy, but it's tough. So I wanted to give each one of these the same amount of time to rest, so this could be about 30 minutes under the glass. So now for the next gluten ball, I wanted to keep the gluten and the water measurements the same, but I wanted to up the percentages of the gluten, starting off at 10% gluten, which we have about 80 grams of gluten, so we need about 8 grams of nutritional yeast. So at this point, we just need to add the water and then kind of like knead this together. I want to knead about the same time. I'm just doing a very quick knead, and you could see that this one comes out just about the same. Not a huge difference. I would say maybe it's slightly more stretchy, but not a big difference. So now let's let this one rest. So for the next one, we're just gonna make this really simple. This one's gonna be 25%, which comes out to be about 21 grams of nutritional yeast. Once this one's all kneaded together, you could see that this one, the 25% nutritional yeast version, actually has quite a bit more stretch. It has a different feeling altogether. It's a very different dough ball, and it looks like it. So this last one is our 50% dough. Now I think this one's a little extreme, but who knows? This could be the ultimate base dough for seitan. The 50% seitan ball was roughly 40 grams of nutritional yeast. That's quite a bit. Now, once this one was mixed together, it was quite a bit drier than the other 2 balls. I mean, obviously, the hydration had to make up for all of that extra nutritional yeast, but the actual dough ball itself came out pretty stretchy. I mean, like, it actually broke apart. It was too easy to stretch, and it was too relaxed, if you would ask me, but still, it was interesting.
Okay, we have our 0, 10, 25, and 50, and the 50 gets a little crazy, but you could see those strings. Really, it might do something with the texture, so we'll find out. I'm gonna let these rest, autolyze. That's where the gluten just kind of forms on its own, no need for kneading. So we're gonna turn these into some seitan nuggets, but first we're gonna let them rest for about 45 minutes.
So after 45 minutes, these were all ready to go. The pure gluten one had quite a bit of stretch to it. It's also very firm. It is very dense, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna slice these into like kind of thin slices, and then I'm gonna cut them into thirds because they will grow, they will expand a decent amount. And I'm probably just gonna like fold them onto each other just to try to add just a touch more texture to these. And I'm gonna try to do that for all of them. So I'm gonna cook these nuggets individually. They're gonna go through the same process. It's gonna be 20 minutes in the steamer, 20 minutes rested, and then they're gonna get tossed in a frying pan with the same amount of oil, a tablespoon of olive oil, and then just fried until they're golden brown for about the same amount of time. It's gonna take about 6 minutes. Now, I'm not trying to eat just plain nuggets of gluten, so these are gonna get seasoned up. It's just gonna be a little bit of salt and pepper, nothing that's gonna really throw it off. Really, all I'm looking for is the change in texture. We know there's gonna be a change in flavor. More nutritional yeast is gonna make them a little bit more savory. So once these are done, I'm just gonna toss them into a little container and close the lid. I have the 25% version steaming, the 10% version resting, so the 10% version is gonna go in the pan right now, and we're just gonna continue with this process until we're all done. So now, all of these are done. They've all had the same amount of time of resting, steaming, and frying. Let's see what Monica has to say. But first, let me make a little bit of like a sauce, like something to dip these in. Like I said, I want some flavor. By the way, this is about as easy of a sauce as you can get. It's just a little bit of mustard and some agave. Kind of makes like a really good tasting honey mustard. Cheers.
All right.
Okay. It's pretty meaty. It's a little tough.
It's meaty. It's good. I like it.
It doesn't have like a fall apart kind of consistency. It's not like a like a watery piece of,
Right.
like a juicy piece of meat.
Right. I wouldn't say it's exactly like meat with the falling apart, but it's definitely super meaty still.
Yeah, it's meaty. This would work in a meat replacement.
Anything.
So this first one here, it's pretty good. Let's try the 10% version.
Cheers. Oh, we didn't even talk. Cheers. There we go.
This one's more meaty to me.
Quite a bit better.
Yeah, it breaks apart. It's meaty. Like the whole thing reminds me of a chicken wing. It's good.
The meat breaks apart in your mouth. It has the correct kind of bite. This one definitely pulls apart maybe a little bit more layered than the first one did. So is this more meat-like than that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move that one up a little bit.
Okay.
Are you ready for the next one?
I am.
This is an easy taste test. We're just gonna fly right through these. Cheers.
This one might even be a step above this one.
It is. It's hard to not pay attention to the flavor because the flavor of this one's like so much better. The way that it breaks apart in your mouth.
Yeah, and in your teeth, the way your teeth move through it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much.
Cuts like meat.
Yeah, it pulls apart like meat. I mean, it's a little bit like bready looking. The structure of it, man, when you feel that.
And this one is much more like a nugget.
Which one do you think resembles meat a little bit more?
I think this one.
This one, is
Yeah.
it like even or a little bit more?
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay, let's try this last one. If this last one goes like crazy over the top, then we know what's happening here. Cheers. The buck stopped share.
It's a
No,
little
I'm-
softer, I guess. Like, but
It is soft. It's much softer. I thought. I
Yeah.
thought it was too soft to be.
me too. And I feel like
Like-
this one kind of beats it.
I mean, this one's good. I think it might be better than the original, but not as good as this one or this one.
Yeah. No, these two are my favorite, but this one wins for sure. This one's a little too soft.
It just goes over the top. It just goes way too over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. To me, that's the texture of meat. That's what gets you the meat there. That is the 25% Seitan. So it looks like the 25% nutritional yeast is the winner. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Thanks, baby.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy
I
about it.
love these. Like, I
Okay,
want to
so-
keep eating them.
Well, we're gonna mix them in for tonight's dinner. We're gonna make like a General So or something. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or we can do like a mustard chicken. Yeah. Okay.